Happy Tuesday, August the 12th. At least I hope it was happy for you and you had a good CPI trading session. In case you don't know me, my name is Eric. I've been trading prop firms for just over 3 years. I like to consider myself an intermediate trader. This is my recap. Unfortunately for me today, I entered a beautiful trade, as you can see right here on the screen. But my dumbass moved the stop to break even, and I end up having a pretty much full meltdown because that is my trigger and that's what causes me to tilt. So I hope you stay tuned. If you want to see the full meltdown, fast forward to further into the video. With that being said, let's get right into it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Tuesday, August the 12th. And we had CPI data come out pre-market here. As you can see, what happened was we used this low from yesterday, Monday, as support. Bounced right there in the overnight session, bounced again pre-market, and then we pumped all the way up and above yesterday's highs. So what I am looking for, we have about 3 minutes for the opening range to form. But what I am definitely looking for is longs to probably target the all-time highs. This is the 5-minute chart right here, and we have the 15-minute chart over here. So we do have some all-time highs. I just want to draw them out right here. And I do like this level here, so I'll kind of draw it down here. That's probably what we would look to target, is those highs right there. So I just want to go ahead and start drawing out the 15-minute opening range. As you know, I wait for the first 15-minute range to form, and then I look for a strong candle 5-minute closure outside of the range, and then I look for some type of pullback to then enter a trade. The other thing we got going on here, we are above all the 200 EMAs on the 5-minute and 15-minute chart. We're above this green line, which is VWAP, and we're also above the 9 and 21 EMAs. So definitely looking for longs, and we're also above yesterday's highs. So 2 more minutes here for the range to form, and then we will see if we get some type of push out of the 15-minute range closure, and then some type of pullback to then enter into longs. The 15-minute range has formed here, and as you can see, it formed, and then we completely just dumped back down into VWAP. So I am waiting patiently here. It's going to be very hard for me personally to enter into shorts, even though this is like a beautiful double top here. And we do have, of course, plenty of room back down to the downside where it can just completely retrace that whole move that we made in the pre-market. But the things that I have to be cautious of is this dotted line right here is previous day close. But then we also, of course, have my favorite EMA, which is the 200 EMA right here. We got the 5-minute closure. I switched to the 5-minute chart over here, and then we have the 2-minute chart over here. We got this 5-minute candle close outside of the range right here. And now we're coming down to that support line that I was talking about, along with the 200 EMAs. So what I would look for here, since we're flirting with this 200 EMA, is some type of pullback or a break here of the 200 EMA, and then a retest, and then I would look for shorts. I'm telling y'all, that 200 EMA, it never fails. Every day we see some type of bounce from that on that 200 EMA, or rejection off that 200 EMA. So like I said, we broke here out of the range on the 5-minute chart here. And then I switched to the 2-minute, and as you can see on the 2-minute chart and the 5-minute chart, we just bounced right off of that magical purple line right back into the range here. We're breaking that 200 EMA, really flushing down here. And I just got this drawn out just so I can start measuring my risk to reward. But we're definitely flushing down here. I like the way we're flushing down here. It's just happening really fast here, so trying to stay patient and not chase the trade. See if we can get some type of break of this little trend line here, and then we can look to go short. Yep, that level, I'm telling you, is just super strong. So we're just gonna take this off. You know, I would have to see a pretty big rejection off of the VWAP and the EMAs here on the 2-minute chart, and then a push to break this for me to even consider shorts down here. Otherwise, if we keep pushing up, what I like to do is just kind of reset the trade. I'll wait for another break of the range and then another setup, like another pullback. So I'll kind of just invalidate this setup and then wait for something a little better. We're about an hour and a half into a market open here and still haven't got any real setups, but as you can see, we again pushed off of that support all the way back up, and now we are kind of pushing out of the opening range. So again, waiting for a 5-minute candle to close outside of the range, and then we'll wait for another pullback to possibly go long. I kind of like the way that we formed this flag, so I'm gonna kind of go ahead and jump into the trade here, or place an order at the top. So I placed the order here. We're gonna get tapped in. I just really like the way we pushed back into the range, and now we're pushing up pretty strong here. And I just like where my stop would be there as well. So there we go. We're tapped in. Got in a little early here. Like I said, usually like to wait for a 5-minute closure outside. But because of how nice this formed, where it kind of trapped people on that triple top that I was talking about earlier, and people thought, okay, maybe I go short here, and then we kind of just pushed back up off of that 9. I really like the way we reacted there. So to me, this is a pretty good trade, and we'll go ahead and see what happens here. Let me switch back to Ninja. So we'll see if we can get the momentum to keep going up here. Could be regretting this, and you know, I should have maybe waited for that 5-minute closure, but I think just the way that formed so nicely right there, I had to kind of go ahead and push into this move here. Let's go ahead and see what happens. I got some coffee being made, dying without my caffeine, so I'm gonna go ahead, and this is as you know, I'm gonna go ahead and walk away from the desk for a minute and go grab my coffee, and we will see what happens here. All right, so I'm back here. Got my coffee. I'm feeling good. So far, this trade's playing out pretty good here. As you can see, I changed my points to money so people can actually see the money there. I used to like to keep it to points just to mentally not mess with myself, but you know, now I kind of know. So, and we've gotten comfortable enough to where, you know, that doesn't really affect me as much. But yeah, so basically, if I go ahead and go to trading view here, we're looking here to target that supply zone that I kind of drew out earlier this morning. So I think we have plenty of room here to go ahead and get up to that, you know, 10 points here. So again, just patiently waiting, and we will see how this plays out. I'm just going to switch back to my Ninja, and let's see how this goes. Okay, so getting caught up here. I'm thinking about moving my stop to break even. I hate doing that because of how slow it is. I just don't want to see this flush down from here, and then I go negative on the trade. So gonna be a dick for a tick right there and just move this break even, and then we'll just let this play out fully. Still feeling good as long as we're above this 9 EMA here on the 2-minute charts, as well as the 5-minute. Let me just switch back to trading view. So yeah, as long as we stay above these 9 EMAs, then I still feel comfortable enough to stay in this trade, and I think we can get that full 10 points. Just have to be very patient here. But yeah, when we go to like 8 points, something like, you know, 8-9 points, I do like to usually move my stop to break even, just because that's pretty far up there to just let a trade go, you know, from all the way green to then stop you out red. But I've also seen it where it comes and it hits my, you know, break even, and then it goes to my TP.
up, Phil.
All right, so pretty annoying trade here. I got stop break even, and probably going to be a lesson learned here because this could be one of those things where, again, let me just go to my trading view. All right, I got stop break even, and you know, this could be one of those times where I didn't stick to my shit and just let the trade play out. Man, it basically stopped me out by a tick there, and then now it's bouncing right off of the 9 EMA there on the 5-minute chart. So this could be one of those times where I'm going to be kicking myself and regretting moving break even, because this could just, you know, be flagging right here and then just loading up for the next bounce up, which is pretty annoying, not gonna lie. And that's why I usually don't like to move my stop to break even, but it is what it is. That's what I did. I'm just gonna wait here and see, you know, kind of what happens here. But I can't, you know, I made the decision. I can't re-enter the trade at this point. I don't know. Just a little frustrated with myself on moving to break even, especially if this ends up going all the way to TP. It's just a lesson learned again that, like, I have to stick to my plan, and if I'm willing to lose 5 points, then I have to be willing to gain 10 points. But this is part of the mental game of trading, so fuck, man. Fuck. I don't know, just a little frustrated with myself right now. I see this like just bouncing off. There's no reason to really get out of this trade right here. You know what I mean? When you still are above the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Yep, there it goes. There it goes to bounce right back up. So this, like I said, this could be one of those days where I just got completely like, oh, that frustrates me why I did that. This is just going to bounce all the way up and go to my TP. Folks, that's why you don't move your stop to break even. And the thing is too, if I would have had it at exact break even, because I moved it like a little tick above just because I didn't want to go red because of the commissions or whatever, which is stupid as well. But if I had it down here, I wouldn't have got ticked out. But this is fucking part of trading, man. See, this like irritates me more than just taking the loss that I took yesterday, where I followed my plan all the way through. And fuck, like, don't move your stop to break even. It's just so hard to not do that when you go that far into profit. I'm so fucking annoyed with myself right now. And this is the type of stuff that, like, basically where before I would just kind of go on tilt, like then I would stop out break even, and then I would try to like re-enter the trade, and then obviously now at that point I'm chasing, so then I would take a loss, and then that all kind of spirals out of control. This is just dumb on my part, you know. You gotta stick to the plan. I should have stuck to the plan. I had a really good stop there. Like, I don't know why I moved to break even. Fuck, man. It is what it is, though. Fuck. I think, like, from here on out, I shouldn't have any more break even trades. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I gotta, like, no matter what, just let it play out. That is, two things have been my biggest struggle. Number one is patience. Getting into my setups a little too early has been a pretty big struggle, which I think I've done pretty well the last like 3 days on that. And then number two, it's been this micromanaging of my trades, and basically always, like, you know, moving the stop to break even or trailing too soon or whatever it might be. And I have to kind of let the stats play out for it to be to my advantage. If I don't do that, then it, you know, it screws up my profitability, just like this trade. Like, this is going to work out right here. This trade is gonna probably go to my full TP. And now I have to deal with that today because my dumbass moves my stop to break even. So this is fucking very frustrating, man. But but this is probably this is probably the most irritating fucking day that I've had since I've started making YouTube videos. Like, there's nothing pisses me off more than when I do this. It was just been better for me to take the loss, you know? Because now we're gonna miss out on this beautiful trade that I knew was gonna work. I didn't know it was gonna work, but you know, I had high conviction. It was a great setup, and because I moved my stop a tick above break even, I get bottom tick there, and then it's gonna go to my full TP. Yep, there it fucking goes, man. Fuck, man. There was no reason for me to get out of this trade. This was a beautiful, like, another flag right here that formed on the 5 minute, and we just bounced off that 9 EMA. There was no reason for me to move my stop to break even right here. I'm so fucking annoyed with myself. And that's what it does. Like, it will push down aggressively to trap people and make people think, oh, this is where we're going down, just so it can get that extra push long. Like, I can't believe I moved to break even, man. Now, like right here, like, you know, I had a trade last week. I had a good recap where I stayed patient. I let it come all the way down. And then like right here, now maybe I go ahead and move to break even, right? Because now it's like the second attempt. We're hitting like a double top. So maybe now I move to break even. And it would be that right at the swing low as well on the 5 minute. That would be a more comfortable break even if you're going to move it break even. Not when I fucking did it. Not when I fucking did it. And that's the other thing. I try to like justify my, like you heard earlier, I tried to fucking justify the reason why I moved to break even. I'm like, well, price action is slow and we went to 8 points and da 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 da. And then I justified it. And then I moved it to break even when I know that I shouldn't be moving it to break even. And I know that I've had a lot of trades where I've been kind of better at this and they end up working out. And I totally just screwed that up. It's just annoys the hell out of me. Again, there's nothing worse than getting stopped, than getting into a great setup, getting stopped, break even, and then it working out to your full TP. Nothing worse, man. In my opinion, I'd rather take a loss, which is what the mindset that I should have is it's better to take a loss because you're going to be pissed if this ends up working out. And now I got to sit here and just watch this go to my full TP. But the one thing I'll give myself credit on, like I said, usually I would get into this move and chase it right now because I'd be so frustrated. At least I'm not doing that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and close my Ninja Trader down. So here is the total profit, $6.74, because I decided to put it up in a tick for what? So I don't get charged like commissions. That's stupid too. Like, who cares if I get charged, you know, $5 for commissions? Like, if I'm gonna move it break even, keep it at actual break even, because if I had it even at a regular break even, I wouldn't have got stopped either. So anyways, so break even trade there, as you can see. And then our balance that we're sitting at is this, you know, took that loss yesterday. So our total account balance is at $1,533. So we're still, you know, in the green and everything. We got plenty of drawdown as well. But going into the rest of the week, what I'm gonna do is concentrate again. Every morning I'm gonna write down these two things: patience and not moving my fucking stop to break even. Those are the two things that I'm gonna work on. As you can see here, this trade is, like I said, it's probably gonna work out. I'm trying to stay on camera and see if it does, but closing down my Ninja. I'm just so annoyed with myself. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. You'll see in the intro if this trade ended up working out or not, but just really upset. I'm gonna go do some cardio, take a walk, brush this off, and then I will come back and get this video edited and everything and then get it up. It's probably going to be a pretty long video. I have a lot of recording, but as you can see, I'm pretty upset. This is one of those days where I just got to walk it off and just do better. Just do better. But I appreciate you for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.